Hi guys, so basically SAMEER, which is Society for Applied Microwave Electronics Engineering and Research, they're looking for some contractual positions in multiple domains. We're going to cover all of them. This is going to be a good opportunity for anybody who is looking forward to maybe research roles. Let us go forward with all the positions that we have. We're only going to cover electrics, electronics, CS, and IT. That's majority of what we're going to cover. If you're interested in any of the other posts, pause the video and read the description. Right? Now let us go forward. We have project engineer electronics with 1 opening. We have project engineer electronics with 5 openings. We have project engineer in CSIT with 7 openings. We have project engineer in electrical with 1 opening. Project engineer in electrical HVAC 1 opening. We're going to cover the detailed description of what all of this is right below. Now let us go forward. We have project associate 2 openings in electronics. We have project scientific assistant electronics 19 openings, which is a good amount. We have project scientific assistant electronics in a different domain in 3 openings. We also have project scientific assistant electrical with 1 opening, and we have electrician, electropractor, turner, and mechanist. This is technical assistant. So you can pause and read about that too. And we also have technical assistant in electronics or electronics mechanic, 9 opening. So these are majorly the posts that we're going to cover. If you're interested in anything else, pause and read. Let us go forward with what all of these posts entail, what are the essential qualifications, and what is basically the job description. So when we move forward, we have electronics and EXTC project engineer role, where basically if you have a bachelor's of degree in engineering or bachelor degree in technology, which is BE or BTech in the field of electronics and telecommunication, electronics instrumentation and control, microwave from a recognized university with minimum 55% of marks. This is the essential qualification for project engineer in electronics EXTC. Now the job description is basically you have an interest in the ability to work in few of these domains, or maybe more than one preferably. Design and development of electronics, RF subsystems, analysis, integration and testing of electronics, RF microwave components, embedded processing for FPGA, ARM-based processors, PLC, FPGA-based control systems, similar activities, data processing monitoring systems, high-power pulsated systems, EMI, C-test. If you have the knowledge of all of these measurement activities in RF system calibration, characterization, and you have an inclination to work in digital processing hardware, signal processing, controllers, and data and monitoring systems, high power electronics, TM, and field evaluations. If this is you, this is basically the job description and you should apply. Now let's move forward to the positions. I hope you listen to this carefully, because the electronics and EXTC for Bangalore deputation has the same job description and essential qualifications as what we've just discussed. And the same essential qualifications are for electronics and EXTC in EM and ENV testing, which is basically another role for project engineer. Now, the job description for this particular role, not the qualifications, is basically electromagnetic interference, compliance testing, ESS, environmental tests, faculty upkeeping, generating reports, interacting with clients, basic. You can just pause and read about it. And you should know something about RF and electronics work. Now, if you go to CSIT, which is basically again a project engineer role, you need a bachelor's of degree in engineering or bachelor's in technology, BE Tech, in computer science, information technology from a recognized university with minimum 55% of the marks. So this is like essential qualification. Now, if we talk about the JD, it's basically database management, GUI development, Lara, Laravel, Python, C, C++, and website related work related to SW development for electronics hardware, communication protocols, and all of that. So that's the job description. We also have lab safety project engineer. You can just read about that if you're interested in that. Now let's go forward. We have electrical and electrical HVAC. Now let us discuss this. These are both again openings for project engineer. In electrical opening, basically the essential qualification is BE or BTech in electrical engineering with minimum 55% of marks. And the job description is high power RF systems, pulse modulators, high voltage power supplies, service and maintenance of HV systems, and or planning, supervision, maintenance of electrical systems, local substations, campus and faculty upkeep. So this is basically the job description for the electrical role. Now we move on to electrical HVAC. You need B or BTech in electrical or mechanical engineering with diploma in HVAC or relevant experience from a recognized institution and university with minimum 55% of the marks for this particular role. And your JD would be planning, supervision, maintenance of central AC plant, electrical systems, campus and faculty upkeep, and other related works. So these are basically the positions that we were to cover. Let us see more of what we were to go through. We also have civil engineering, mechanical. You can pause and read about all of that. Now we move on to our next post, which is basically project associate. Now in project associate, the first one that we have is for the discipline electronics. And you basically need a master's degree in engineering or technology, which is ME or MTech, in the field of electronics and telecommunication, electronics, instrumentation and control, microwave from a recognized university with minimum 55% of the marks. Now, the JD right here has been mentioned, somebody who's worked or has the ability to work and interest in these following domains. You can check it out, pause and read if that's something that you're interested in. Let us move forward to our next role, which is basically project scientific assistant. Let us go here. So when we talk about this particular role, we have first for the discipline electronics and EMV testing. Now, when we talk about this particular one, you need a diploma or bachelor's of science, which is BSc, in relevant disciplines such as electronics or EXTC from a recognized institution, obviously, with minimum 55% of the marks again. Now, if all of these interest you, you have an idea about this, this is basically the job description. You can go through it. Now, if we go forward, we also have the same in the discipline electrical, which is basically diploma in electrical engineering from a recognized university with 55% of marks. This is your essential qualification. If you do have this, you can apply. The job description entails service and maintenance of HV systems or maintenance of local substations, campus, faculty upkeep, and other related works. So let us go forward with this and see if there's next post. So project technical assistance, and here we have electronics and electronic mechanic. Now the thing about this is the candidate should have passed ITI, which is basically electronics electromechanic from a government affiliated board of technical and vocational education with minimum 55% of marks again. Now electronics, microwave components like soldering, cabling, harnessing, assembly of modules, physical and visual inspections, laboratory upkeep, other related work is basically the job description for this particular post. Now all of this is basically technical assistant. You can go through all of these if any of these interest you. Now let us go forward and talk about the important part, something that all of you look forward to, which is the remuneration. So the remuneration for project engineer, project associate is 34,000 per month. Project scientific assistant A is 23,500, technical assistant A is 21,000, technical assistant B is 23,500 per month. So this is the remuneration and pay according to the post. You can compare it with what we've discussed earlier. Now when we talk about the age limit for the first three posts is no experience requirement, and the upper age limit is 28 years for project engineer and project associate, 25 years for project scientific assistant A. For project technical assistant A, we have 25 years again. Now, when we talk about project technical assistant B, you need to have 3 years of experience and above, and the upper age limit is 30 years. So this is what was discussed. Now, let's go forward with the duration of contract. It's a 2-year contract or the duration of project, whichever is less. They're not obligated to increase the contractual period. They've mentioned the same below, so you can go through all those instructions also. Now, when we talk about the screening test, we're going to discuss this process a little bit more in detail, but nothing is set in stone. There would be a written test or interview and or skill test, which is online or offline, which would be conducted as per the requirement of whatever post you're applying for. And the dates of the same will be announced on this particular website. You can pause and put in this website, see what they've announced. For now, the tentative date or the predicted date of online test is 1st of February 2026. And the reporting time will be announced again on their webpage. The last date to fill the application for this particular role is 25th January 2026. Again, check the websites for updates if you want to know more. Now let's go forward. They've mentioned all the documents required. You can pause and read these, see if you have them, if there's any problem. Let's move forward to general terms and conditions, which is basically what the age limit is as mentioned above. The eligibility date for determining the age limit will be the closing date of receipt of applications, which is basically the closing date of advertisements as mentioned. That is basically the last date based on which you should calculate your age. Now, how to apply, you can go through all of this, how you are supposed to apply online, go on the website. It's basically that you must not, like, you will be permitted, no candidate shall be permitted to appear for the written test and or interviews without the printout of their online submitted applications, as it is normally, right? So let's move forward and see the selection procedure. Now, when we talk about the selection procedure, it's basically being shortlisted through screening tests. It could be single or multiple based on whatever the requirement is, whatever your post is. And you will be required to appear for a personal interview in case you do shortlist through the screening test. Right, the daytime menu of all that would be notified to you online, and you will be advised to go to the website, as all their updates for the same are coming on the website. Now, if you go move forward here, the candidates fulfilling the prescribed qualification shall be permitted to download the identity card, which is basically admit card, and a printed copy would be required. The final selection would be based on the performance of the candidate in the interview, which is to be conducted in a menu which would be mentioned in that particular admit card, unless notified otherwise. And basically, mere appearance in screening test, document verification, or interviews shall not confer any right to selection or appointment, which is pretty obvious. All of these are eliminatory rounds. None of it confirms that you are employed for sure, unless you get the final approval. Now, if we move forward, we have general notes, which is basically minimum 55% of marks or equivalent CGPA basically is to be considered. The prescribed essential qualifications and experience of minimum requirements or the same has been mentioned above. And basically this is a bit important. For the project engineer position specifically, candidates who have already appeared in the final examinations between April to July and are waiting for their results can also apply for these particular positions. So if you've appeared in your final exam, you're waiting for your result and you want to apply, go for it. You are qualified. Appointment shall be subject to the production of pass certificate at the time of joining, provided they have secured 55% marks or equivalent CGPA. So you will be subjected to these criteria and it would be checked at the time of your joining. But you can still apply if you're in your final year, you've given your final exams, you're still applicable. Now, here we have terms and conditions for appointment, which is basically TADA is not, shall be, no TADA shall be admissible, and that they have the right to reject or accept any candidate. They have the right to cancel, restrict, enlarge, or modify or alter any recruitment process. It's all going to be based on what their decision is. You must fulfill all the eligibility conditions if you want to be selected. Candidates shall be required to produce all original certificates. Basically, just the general that it is in these particular cases. Selected candidates will have the liability to serve anywhere in the country. So that is also something that you should know. You should be open to relocation if you're applying for the same. And no candidate shall have the right to claim accommodation, which is another thing that you must note. And no interim correspondence or queries shall be entertained. Applications are only open for Indian citizens, as it is normally in these particular cases. So if you're eligible for any of these roles, you're interested in any of these roles, all the details have been explained. If you want to see any of the parts again, pause the video and see and apply now.